Increasing your income, the 1000% formula. You need to stop risking your money in investments you don't control or in things that you don't know, like real estate if you're not a real estate guru, or the stock market for the majority of the population. See, there's no return that can compete with two equations that unlock your potential and exponentially increase your income, not later, but now. So no matter where you invest, nothing will beat this technique or make more of a difference for your money. Like, I used to invest in real estate. I spent time daily on financing and working with the banks and going to title companies for closings and deferred maintenance issues on the properties and talking to property management companies that put the wrong renters in there, and that now we're dealing with squatters that haven't paid rent for 4 months, and now we're getting attorneys involved for the litigation of that. And look, the property managers that had different incentives than what was going to work for me. And then I had to report with partners on some of the properties. I had to meet with the accountants looking at everything, and then having conversations with realtors. This consumed my life. This is not what I want to do, but it's what I thought I had to do in order to get rich. Real estate's great for some, a distraction for others, and destructive for even others. It may be a place for you, or it may not, but there's a way to increase your income tenfold with these two formulas and one key asset, and it isn't real estate. So let me break it down into those three parts. The first one is the prosperity equation. What's the most profitable thing that you could do with your money? Well, if dollars follow value, the question becomes, how does one create more value? These questions are essential to answer in order to discover how to 10 times your income. Oh yeah, and of course you can actually enjoy your life a little bit along the way while you do this. So there's an equation that demystifies the sometimes complex nature of earning money. Where you have hidden potential, right? Where that's sitting and it's stagnant. I'll show you how to remove financial obstacles and increase your contribution in the world while you do it. All right, this begins with something that I think is talked about a little bit too much. I could throw a rock on any street corner and hit someone talking about it, but it is 1/4 of the equation because it creates interest. And that's, do you have a degree of a drive or a passion? See, passion's not enough. But what I want is a thing that motivates you and moves you in the right direction. But if you don't have the rest of the equation, it's going to be detrimental, and it's actually going to be misleading, because I found a lot of passionate people that get really bitter. They are passionate about a hobby that they can't monetize. So that's why it's just a part of the equation. So many people talk about passion, speakers, books, all this kind of stuff. But with the rest of the formula, it can actually have you run in the wrong direction, waste time, waste money, and create that bitterness. So what is passion? It's excitement or energy or drive connected to an idea, a concept, or activity. An idea is a thought that you have, a concept is more formalized or shared, and an activity obviously is something that you're doing. So it's essential for you to know who you are, to know yourself, and then to brainstorm, what are your top passions? What are the things that you really like doing? Now, we're going to use the prosperity equation to create focus within that passion. See, you got to narrow things down so you don't destroy your bandwidth. So you don't wear yourself down or your team down or have too many projects that never quite get complete or off the ground or ever become profitable. So we begin with passion, but then we add purpose. And that's a clear, direct focus on the highest context of living. An example of using purpose for focus begins with, number one, what if you could only do 3 activities that create value and earn money? What would those be? Number two, if you had to find the time, because you couldn't just add more to an already busy life, what things would you have to eliminate? Number 3, are there any areas where you're making money, but it's not really aligned with your purpose? You don't have a high degree of passion around it. You don't really enjoy that. And if that's the case, where are those? See, purpose is a big game. It's something that inspires both fear, because you're like, could I actually accomplish this? But it inspires you because you're like, that's a cause worthy of my life. See, if there's no fear at all, it means you're just thinking pretty small. If there's no inspiration, it means you're playing the wrong game and it's not on purpose. So if you're looking back over your entire life, what would be worthy of your legacy of your life? What's the greatest game that you can play? With purpose, where do you already have capability? Where do you already have things that you know how to do? So where are you the most unique and creative and energized and have superior ability? Look, you can go to wealthfactory.com/LWI, as in Living Wealthy Initiative, to get the first equation, which is the prosperity equation, but we're going to get into the second equation that's even more profound here in a minute. But I'm just going to gift you that workbook. Well, gift it. You give me your email, we'll stay in touch, and hopefully we'll do some things together in the future. But I want to add this to your life. So number 6, like the 6th question I'm asking right now around purpose is, what do you need to spend more focus and time on so that you could remove distractions and fulfill that purpose? right? What's standing in the way? So the equation starts with passion, then we add purpose, which narrows it down and focuses. Then we're going to add production. Production just means simple, actionable sequence to produce a desired result. If we have passion and no action, it's wishful thinking. If we have purpose and no action, well, it's not purpose at all then, is it? It's maybe a dream. So what's the next step for you to be productive in your passion and purpose? So in order to figure that out, what needs to be immediately delegated? If you're gonna 10 times your income, you've got to delegate some things. Those are the things that have to be done. But what are the things you can eliminate? What are the things that are wasting your time, tugging at you, that are escapisms, that are destroying your bandwidth, that you're preoccupied with, that limit your focus? Like, I just find a lot of people have crazy excuses, like, oh, the garage isn't taken care of, or I got to get the house in order, or I got to work on that project, or whatever it is, or I got a sporting event I'm watching, or I got to get through the TV series. Like, what's preventing you from taking actions to fulfill on your passion and purpose? So this equation is, in parentheses, passion plus purpose times production is going to create your profit. Profit is the byproduct of actions combined with excitement and energy, right? And when you have energy and drive and you connect that to an idea, concept, or activity, this is the prosperity equation. So what is your number one driver for immediately improving your cash flow? Is it plugging leaks, not overpaying taxes, not overpaying on interest? Is it simply doing more of what you do best and eliminating other busy work? This is step one to get 1,000 times more income over your life, or at least 10 times higher income today. It isn't about doing 10 times more work or working 10 times harder. That's not even physically possible for the majority of the population. Now, there's some people lazing around, not doing too much. I get that, but there's plenty of people with effort, but their efforts aren't paying off. You know, if it were just about effort, my coal mining family would have had more wealth than anyone could imagine. If that's, what I told you to do, you just want to hit me if you're like, oh yeah, work harder. That's a great idea, Garrett. So let's get to the next level. It's the second piece if you want to, have a lot more income, and it comes down to the value equation. Have you ever heard the advice to invest in yourself? Well, what does that mean? Is it buying a marketing program? Is it going back to school? Is it hiring a coach? Is that all there is? No. First, it's not only about investing money, right? It's about investing in yourself as a commitment to how you live. It's a lifelong learning. It's being in a way that you can continue to get educated in the ways that you can create the most profound value. So it's a way of being and how you operate. If you think wealth is a function of buying the right stock, or owning the right home, or finding the best fund manager, you can find that none of that can actually compete with the rate of return produced by combining the prosperity and value equations together. A large part of the value equation is relationship capital, and how to maximize it, and then combine that with mental capital, which is essential for truly investing in yourself. While others put money into programs they hardly understand, with nameless and faceless managers, and companies through mutual funds, they miss the relationship capital available with the proper philosophy and commitment. So how do we put this value equation in action? What is it exactly? Well, every individual learns differently. It's critical that you identify and focus on the ways that are your preferred, methods of learning. And when you increase your mental capital, which is your ideas, knowledge, wisdom, insights, tools, strategies, like, what is it for you? Is it reading a book? Is it listening to an audiobook? That's an additive for me, that's never a multiplier. But it's a great start. Is it engaging with mentors or coaches or others one-on-one? Is that helpful? For me, that helps a lot more than just reading. Reading's more of a supplement, but engaging in the right conversations with the right people gives me exponential growth. Is it attending a seminar or a workshop? I just went through a 2-day book workshop at Scribe. It was phenomenal because it had the structure and the accountability and the space to accomplish what might take me months or even a year, but able to immerse within a couple of days. Is it watching a webinar? Is it brainstorming with someone else that you know and respect? Is it, launching something and testing it? Is it meditation or other spiritual disciplines that have you feel grounded or more expressed? Is it pursuing advanced education or even higher degrees? Or hell, is it watching YouTube right here? What expands your mental capital? That's the first key. If you want to expand your income, it's about the knowledge you have and how valuable that is to other people, which takes me to relationship capital. This makes a huge difference. If you can find multiplier relationships, amplifiers, and catalysts, this will change your life. These are the key people, right? People you really resonate with and who are consistently bringing value to your life and spark ideas. The people you love spending time with the most. The people that speak about you so positively when you're not around, to say that they've got to know you and they're your advocate, right? So if you go to wealthfactory.com/LWI, you're going to see I have exercises to identify your relationship capital. people, networks, organizations, right? The family and friends and subscribers and all these type of people that you can really identify and then figure out who adds the most. I know a lot of people spend time with those that they can help, but not nearly enough time with those that can help them. I find that all the time. So if you can start to identify your catalysts, those people that make the biggest difference, and really identify on that list, if you just had one catalyst that's not in your life right now, it could change your life. You take 3, you're gonna multiply everything you do. 10 can perpetuate your income way beyond 10 times. These catalysts are absolutely key. They're the movers, they're the shakers, they're the connectors. They absolutely make such a huge difference. So who are your potential relationships when you're looking to that could become a catalyst? Who are the ones you already know? Begin there. Create that list. Who are the additive relationships that are positive and they have a good impact on you, but maybe not the exponential impact? And then who are the subtractive relationships? Who are those people that take from you? Who are those people that undermine you, or that you feel negative about yourself, or you start to doubt yourself? Limit the time you spend with them and take that time back and invest it in catalysts, because these are the people that make the biggest difference on your income. All right, if you get the workbook, you can follow along with this video, like I said, at wealthfactory.com/LWI. It'll help you kind of really dive in to everything that I'm teaching here. And it's got some great insights and questions, and to really get clear about what you could do to increase your value, therefore increase the amount of money you make. Now, the third piece to this comes down to soul purpose, S-O-U-L. Soul purpose is who you are when you're at your best. It's your abilities, it's your values, including those passions, and when we combine those together for the highest context of your life, that's your soul purpose. So even if you think you kind of know that, keep working for clarification, because once you get clear, there will be an expansion and even a full expression. So what are you doing every day to be at your best? Are you creating a daily routine? Do you know what you do that's most valuable in the world? Do you know the things you're most unique at? I find most people discount what they're best at. Do you have time set aside to work on the most important activities aligned with your soul purpose? Or is it being crowded out by busyness? When do you find yourself happiest, most creative, most excited? And how do you intentionally design that in your life? And where do you get the most compliments? And what do people rely on you most for? Like, the more you really get to know yourself and understand the value you provide, you can have exponential increase in impact. And that impact delivers more value, and that value solves the major problems we face in this world. But far too many are scrimping and saving and sacrificing, and they're delaying and they're deferring and they're scared and they're not sure what value they provide. It's time to get clear about who you are to exponentially increase your income. You need to stop risking your money in investments you don't control or in things you don't know, and instead put the money back into yourself. There's no return that can compete with the two equations of the prosperity equation and value equation to unlock your potential and exponentially increase your income now. Use those equations to unlock that potential and discover your soul purpose. See, now you have the knowledge to transform your thoughts into profits and build the life you love. If you're looking for more on this topic, check out my video on how debt can actually generate income for you, right? I want to have cash flow happening for you so you can take that cash flow and invest it back in yourself, so you can get a win right up front. You'll learn how to create lasting wealth that stays with your family for generations, plus you can invest in your soul purpose. I'll see you there.